which is nice.
Okay.
I'm not squishy anymore.
You were so hard, or you're so hard now. Before you were squishy.
Yeah, don't talk about how hard I am. Let's do the let's do the podcast. Hello and welcome to Telling the Tale. It's a podcast where we're going to play through every single episodic video game coming out of Telltale Games, the studio who pioneered the genre. I'm your host, Mitchell Farley Wolf, and I'm here today with Dustin Jackson.
Hello. Remember that game Minecraft?
Dustin, you're a host on this podcast.
Here I am.
But I just said I'm the host and I'm here with Dustin.
Yeah, we're both hosts.
Well, yeah, but the way I said it would imply that you're not, and I feel like you should be more mad at me.
Oh, wow, you really fucked up there.
This is Minecraft Story Mode Season 1, Episode 1, The Order of the Stone, released originally on October 13th, 2015, directed by Dennis Lennart and Glenn Ross, designed by Stephen McManus and Grady Standard, and written by Michael Chong and Laura Joachim. What a good collection of names. How did I feel about that?
How did you feel about those names you just said?
I think I got at least half of them right.
You know what? That's a good average.
Yeah, maybe even 3/4. But Laura Hakim, I'm almost positive that is not how that is supposed to be said. In looking at the release date, we already played stuff that was after this. We played Michonne is after this.
Mm-hmm.
And New Tales is, of course, after this, where it was only a couple months ago, right?
Yeah.
But I do think this is kind of an interesting place for us in the series right now, our podcast series, at least, because October 13th, 2015, we're no longer jumping ahead. We just kind of got here. And
we stumbled our way here.
This is interesting because I think this is the first game that came out of Telltale during the time in which we already knew each other. You and
Ooh. Interesting. Have we known each other for that long? Since 2015?
Well, I'm counting like having spoken to each other briefly and indirectly and on a forum, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know when we started like really talking to each other. Maybe we didn't talk to each other at all before the podcast started. I can't remember how that went. It's been too long.
I nailed the audition.
Yeah. Man, I should talk to this friend more. Had to invent a whole failed video game company in order to just get on the horn with you.
Telltale Games, guess what? Never existed, buddy.
If I just suggest, like, hey, there was probably a Sam & Max game, you'll be like, yeah, I bet.
Imagine doing a podcast with someone who just does not play ball like that. Isn't that interesting?
So, Minecraft is a video game. It was developed by Mojang Studios originally in 2009, released in full as its non-beta, full, non-early access release in 2011. And 4 years after that, in 2015, then we were finally in story mode. We were checking out the story mode of the game.
Isn't that crazy to think about? I had totally forgotten that Minecraft is not that old. It's massive. It's all over the place. And it really... You're saying it came out of beta in 2011.
12 years ago.
Wow. That... I guess that is a long time.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like
it's
a small
12 years.
Amount of time. It feels older than that.
Well, I think what's weird is that 2015, when story mode came out, doesn't seem that long ago. And then from that, it was only 4 years before the full game released. And then from that, it was only 2 years since like it actually started. And each of those gaps is small, but they do add together to be a larger gap of time.
Now the Minecraft Steve is in Super Smash Brothers video game.
Yeah, so 14 years since Minecraft originally started. I did play Minecraft in 2009. and
Ooh.
I did not play Minecraft after it actually came out. Um,
So you played it in the beta stage?
yeah, in the very early beta stage. I
Ooh.
remember
What?
seeing this. This will take you back. A Penny Arcade comic about Minecraft when it originally came out. With I think Tycho,
Our good friend
our
Tycho.
good buddy and Telltale character Tycho. Um, he was looking around. And he was like in the Minecraft world in panel 1 of a comic, and he's like, "Wait, so what do you even do in this game? I'm looking at a tree, and then I'm gonna punch it with my hand, and I get a stick." And then in the third panel, he's like holding the stick, and he's like, "Oh no." And that's the comic. that was in the year 2009. That's what comics were.
That's one of the famous gamer comics.
And I think it was supposed to be understood that he said "oh no" cuz like he got it and realized he'd be addicted,
Right.
and not
It
"oh
doesn't
no"
really.
because he's holding a stick and he doesn't like sticks.
Yeah, maybe if I saw the comic, it would land better.
Doubt it. uh yeah, no, just because I remember it doesn't mean I want you to know it. Like we're just doing a podcast. I'm just saying all the stuff I know.
Right.
um
That is the history of Minecraft, the comic. We
mhm.
hit all the highlights.
So Minecraft notably did not have any kind of story mode.
Right.
And I think that was part of its aesthetic and core design philosophy of you're going to make the moments that happen in this game yourself. They're going to happen systemically. They're going to involve you engaging with systems, and if you become a hero or a villain for other people based on the engagement of those systems, it's just going to happen because you chose to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So a fact of the matter story mode kind of goes against Minecraft's whole being. There are two main modes in Minecraft. There's the normal one, which I think is called survival, right? Might be true.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't play that much Minecraft. I don't know all the stuff about it.
I think the first time I played Minecraft
Mhm.
and the last time I played Minecraft
Ooh.
was maybe like a couple years ago. Not that I didn't like it, it's just
Were you playing with the DK Vine folks?
yeah, I was playing with the DK Vine folks, and that was fun. I had a good time, but it feels like I didn't enjoy it enough to make it happen a lot, I guess. Like, I was never going up to everyone and being like, hey, you guys want to jump into Minecraft? I was just kind of like, okay, well, if people are playing and looking for people to play, maybe I can take like an hour to jump in and hang out with everybody in Minecraft. But they just don't do it as much as they used to. And I'm not
Yeah.
helping. I'm not getting the Minecraft sessions started.
Well, so I think so. They were playing in survival mode, where that's basically the game is a whole game.
Yeah.
You can't just do anything you want. You need to manage your inventory. You need to manage your health and be good at certain aspects of the combat, even though most of the combat is just like first person swing a sword in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other mode in the game is creative mode, which is very popular with younger kids, I've found. And anyone who just wants to just build, just take as many inventory items from anywhere in the game as they want and just build something outright.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pretty cool thing to have been in the game for that long. I think that was
Yeah.
in the game before it left early access, so it's been a cornerstone of the thing. If I were to get into Minecraft, though, I wouldn't be interested in creative mode, I think, at all, because I've never liked making stuff in games.
You know what's weird? I feel like I should like making things in games, but I rarely ever do. Sometimes I do, but I feel like I'm the kind of person who, like, if I'm playing a game, then I want to experience something other people have made. It's awesome
Sure.
to have games where you can build stuff on your own, but I don't think I have the patience for it. And I'm an artist, I draw things, but
Yeah.
I kind of prefer having that complete freedom to do whatever I want rather than being stuck in someone else's system and having to play by their rules. Not that that's a bad way to do it at all, but like, do you remember the game Disney Infinity when that came out?
Yeah.
I was kind of into that. I like Disney characters, and they made it so you can just build whatever you want. There are systems to like build your own games, but it's just so limited. And some people really enjoy that. Some people like getting creative and working within the system. But I'm just like, if these systems are this narrow, I just can't get anything out of the time I would have to put into it.
Yeah, not to spend too much time talking about like actual Minecraft, because we do have a game we should be focusing on. But like, I totally agree with that. For me, I even really like making video games. I like it enough to do it for money.
Right.
Which I guess maybe that's not a compliment to the activity, because I have to do it for money. I just enjoy not starving. Is my main thing about it. But I'll try out. I tried out Dreams. I tried out Super Mario Maker.
Yeah.
I tried out the game editor in Roblox, and in all of those things, it's really cool at first, especially Mario Maker. Mario Maker's kind of like my favorite one of the game makers in that ilk, because even though it's so much more limited than all the other ones, I think like that kind of limitation puts everyone in the community aimed toward a similar direction of like, hey, try this thing I made based on that style of level. And I don't know, that kind of thing was interesting. But if it always eventually gets to a point where I'm putting in so much work creating something, and then it goes to live in a closed ecosystem where I realize, oh, I can never, like, no matter how good I do at this, it'll just go into this ecosystem that like doesn't get expanded on. No one can make great art in Dreams because it has to live in Dreams. And I'm not saying the art itself isn't great. I'm saying you won't be recognized as a great artist.
Yeah.
Which is that is troublesome to me. It kind of like the politics of these Roblox designers trying to become game designers eventually, like as a profession. They're young people, and they're showing great talent, and then they're putting their stuff on Roblox where there are people that will play it, but then like it because it's such a closed ecosystem, they're not recognized for that.
Yeah.
And like they can't, like, you're not going to get a Wikipedia page about yourself as a Roblox game maker, but you could get a Wikipedia page about yourself as a game maker if you just let yourself own the product. You can't own the product in those creative thing game ecosystems. Not that Minecraft is the same as that, but if I'm building something big in Minecraft, eventually it's like, well, you just did level design, and you could have put that in a video game you made and made money, or made at least a name for yourself. And
exactly,
instead it's locked in Minecraft.
You have to work within. You're making something for Minecraft when you could just make something that can be totally its own thing. And what you just brought up is very interesting. I didn't even think about this. I feel like one of the reasons Mario Maker works better is it's not in that small valley where you have like the illusion to be very creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you get Mario Maker, you get it because you want to specifically make Mario levels. And it's fine to work within that system to make exactly that. But then things like Dreams, or the short-lived Project Spark, I tried that out for a little bit.
Yeah, you ever play Little Big Planet?
Yeah, a little bit, not a whole lot.
Yeah, just similar vibes there too.
Yeah, it just feels like, okay, I'm told I can make whatever I want, but I really can't. I have to work within this system. And I'm sure what you can make is very impressive, but yeah, like you said, it's just going to be part of that. And I don't really like that.
Yeah, and there's some things, like, I think most of those game creation engines are Turing complete, which essentially means that you can do computation with them. Even Mario Maker, you can like build circuits out of power-ups going along music blocks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that, the amount of blocks you need to put down that's required to make it Turing complete is really high, and you can't just put as many as you want in, and levels can only be 500 seconds long.
Yeah.
So it just ends up kind of not feeling that way. It doesn't feel like you've actually made a great amount of progress toward doing something that's, because I've seen Mario Maker levels that are like racing levels and first person adventure games. They made a Mario Maker level that makes it first person. It's wild stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I did one for Courtney's stream. It was like a escape room, and I felt pretty cool about my level.
That's a neat way to do it.
It involved learning Braille.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had recently
That's
played
tough.
Pokemon
That's a tricky
Sapphire.
one.
Yeah, it's hard to learn Braille. But yeah, so like I see especially younger players getting really excited about big old castles they built in Minecraft. And I love that for them. I think it's fantastic, but I am also like a little bit worried about the ecosystem that we're putting these very talented young creators in, of like, hey, they just built something they can't claim for themselves.
Right.
And that is worrying, because if they just did it in Unity and they just like use the default Unity guy to be able to explore a castle, and then they just put it out and said it's not really a game, it's just sort of a walk around a castle thing.
That's still something that's really neat.
It's
that's
yours.
Something...
You can put that on a portfolio. You can show someone. You can develop your skills further. You can put it out in the community, and then someone else can find it and say, hey, I liked your walk around a castle game. I actually made like a character controller. So if I put my character in your castle game, put it together, all of a sudden it's kind of more like a game. And then fan fiction writers can get in there, and if it's their own thing, they can just make it their own thing. So anytime there's big games that have this like highly creative build your own thing mode in them, I just get skeptical. That said, the survival mode of Minecraft, where it's like you have this wide range of creation tools for the goal of working within this game, I like that quite a bit. I think that is fantastic and well realized, and I enjoy Minecraft on a conceptual level. Still, I haven't personally taken the big dive to get like really good at survival mode Minecraft, but I keep telling myself one day I'll do that.
Someday.
Yeah.
As you look out on the horizon.
Someday I will mine the craft. But before I Minecraft, I actually Minecraft story mode.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, how do you feel about... Okay, so we just played episode 1 of season 1 of Minecraft story mode. The episode is called The Order of the Stone. How do you feel about this in particular being the story mode of Minecraft? If, like, I think the title's mostly a joke, right?
Right.
Because it's its own game. It's a spin-off of Minecraft. It's not the story mode, but how would you take that joke if you were to take it literally? Do you think it makes sense as the story mode?
I think it's hard for me to really say, because I'm just so used to... Because this just feels like a Telltale game, and I'm so used to how Telltale does things and how their games work, that I wouldn't feel like this is what a Minecraft story mode would be. Knowing that it's just Telltale doing a mode, doing their own Minecraft story, it's fine that way. But like, if this were just given to you as, no, this is like the story mode of this game, it might feel a little weird.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of what you said before. It's just so antithetical to what Minecraft is. Mm-hmm. And then you have like all these big name actors in it, and they all have characters, which is good for what it is. Mm-hmm. But if you just loaded up Minecraft and you could choose to do story mode and it was this, it might feel a little weird.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Especially because, I mean, the aesthetics match Minecraft in a conceptual way. Like, you look around the world of Minecraft story mode and you definitely think, oh yeah, this is what Minecraft looks like. But if you put a screenshot of this game next to a screenshot of Minecraft, you'll realize, oh, it really isn't actually.
Yeah, there's like
the way the
lots of
characters are
different
modeled
lighting.
is completely different.
Yeah, modeled and animated.
Yeah, the animation especially, people are
The
moving
facial
they're like
expressions.
bending their arms a lot more in ways
Yeah.
that are not possible in the main engine of Minecraft.
Exactly. So yeah, I for what it is, I liked it enough. But maybe it's also just because I never did get that into Minecraft. I didn't jump into this and be like, whoa, this is so weird.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought, like, yeah, this is just I'm watching a cartoon. It's essentially a cartoon machinima of Minecraft characters. But then they did stuff throughout the episode that kept giving me pause. They did a lot of like close-ups on faces in places where they would normally do close-ups on faces in The Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us. But in this, the close-up on the face was just like so jarring because the face doesn't have anything in it.
They're so pixelated.
It's just a big wall of flesh-colored squares, and if it occupies like 60% of the screen on a close-up, that is wild. That is
Yeah.
like a bold aesthetic choice to stick with.
Yeah.
And they stuck with it.
Yeah. I think it works enough. I like what they do with the faces to make them more expressive, and to me it doesn't feel that jarring. I wonder if it would to someone who's like really into playing Minecraft.
I think,
like, would they feel put off by something like this?
I mean, I've heard, yes, that people are put off by this, but
Okay.
my take on the aesthetics of the faces, I think it really just comes down to the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because these eyebrows are like, they're rectangles, which they always are because everything's pixels, right? But they're floating. They float and like smoothly float in front of the face.
Yeah, it's not like they're pixel eyebrows on the face. They're like their own rectangles that just move the way eyebrows do.
And I think because of how they float and how animated those eyebrows are, it gives you a lot of like DreamWorks eyebrow raise in the movie poster vibes. And it's probably not even their fault. It's like, this is a normal facial expression. It's just that these eyebrows are floating in front of the face that makes it look like that.
Right.
I would have enjoyed seeing a take on these eyebrows where it's actually baked into the texture of the face and not a separate model object in front of the face.
And they're like pixel squares.
Yeah, because they do that with the eyebrows, and they do it with the mouth as well, where like it has depth into the mouth. And in both of those, well, I think the mouth is more okay because when someone's talking and like I can see that their teeth are deeper in than their lips and their tongue is deeper in than their teeth. Like, I'm just used to seeing that. But the eyebrows being like physically in front of the face, I think that might be too much.
Interesting. I actually feel the opposite.
Okay.
I prefer them this way. I feel like if they were pixel eyebrows, I don't think the expressions and the emotive faces would read as well as they do this way.
Okay. I think that might just be coming down to, I'm not sure I agree that it is done well. It's done all right. It's done in a way that like I can tell what their emotions are, which frankly is hard to do with like the default skin of Steve, the one that they brought into Minecraft, the one they brought into Smash Brothers, where it's just like, oh, I can kind of not tell if that's a mustache or a mouth. Like in this game, there's no mistaking these big toothy smiles for what they are. They are big and toothy.
Yeah, you get to see a lot of teeth.
But speaking of characters, not just their design, but who they are, this game follows in the footsteps of a lot of episode 1s of Telltale games, by just dropping a shit ton of characters right away. You have to
Yeah,
keep in
there's
mind
a
a lot.
lot of them.
Yeah, so you play as Jesse, regardless of who you choose Jesse to be. And this is a first for a Telltale, I think. Pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I
You
can't think of
build
any
your own
others that are
character.
like this. Kind of.
Well, yeah, okay. You don't
You're
build your own
just
character. You're given a choice of male or female, and then 3 skin tones for each
yeah.
one.
Yeah, and even if that is, that is limited, I still think it's a cool thing to let you choose.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Especially in Minecraft, where it's a good way of matching the tone of the original series that Telltale's taking from. I think at this point in Telltale's history, something that they're dealing with a lot is like, our games are just going to feel a lot like The Walking Dead from now on.
Yeah.
So when we're using a new license, what can we actually do to make our use of that license feel legitimate to that license? Like, it's that license is getting a new game, not the Telltale formula getting a new game. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the goal of making Minecraft feel like it got a new game in this one was probably not reached. This feels more like an extension of their Walking Dead brand than anything else. The fact that it is Minecraft only comes across in like aesthetics and story. But the fact that you can choose which character or like what your player character looks like and make that a bit more of your own feel, I think that does go a long way in making it feel more Minecrafty.
Yeah, I think that and the crafting table mechanic. I mean, we've seen crafting in Telltale games before,
Yep.
but I just think the way they do it here at least helps. Like, it feels close to how Minecraft does it.
Yeah, and there's one choice later on in the episode where you're given an opportunity to use a crafting table. I think it's the 3rd time you can use a crafting table. And you can make one thing or another thing. And in either case, I think it just works no matter what you want to do. But it works in a very like Walking Dead way where it's like, okay, I look like I'm crafting whatever I want to make, like in Minecraft, but in actuality, I'm choosing between a fishing rod or a bow and arrow. And that's it.
Right.
I mean, like, yeah, having the interface there to make the thing that you're picking it definitely feels very Minecrafty. But like, there's no mistaking that this is a Walking Dead game more than a Minecraft game.
Mm-hmm.
So you play as Jesse. So for you, I asked you. You started playing before I started playing today.
Yeah.
I asked
and
you,
yet you finished before I finished.
Did you take a break in the middle?
I took a little break, not a super long one, but I guess enough to give you the lead.
It was enough.
I guess tortoise beat hare yet again.
Yeah, I'm wearing that shirt every time I record with you that says "Tortoise beats hare yet again," and then it has a picture of your face with a big old X on it.
Oh man, I suck at this.
Yeah, and you have rabbit ears, which I've drawn on the shirt. It didn't come that way, but I felt like I needed to complete the metaphor. Anyway, I asked you which character you picked because the 3 different skin tones are just aesthetic, but the gender gives you a different voice actor.
Yeah, I wonder if I would assume they just have like all the same dialogue and are basically the same character. Just you can choose male or female, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's a couple lines where I noticed that. Okay, so to get clear this up, I asked you what you did, and you said, "Yeah, I'm the boy one," and you're getting Patton Oswalt is voicing your version of Jesse.
That's another thing that's kind of weird about this one. It's not like Telltale games that haven't had big voice actors before, but this one feels like they're bringing out all the stars.
Yeah, I think Patton Oswalt is definitely like. I mean, he's not the most famous person in the world, but he's definitely more famous than most people we've seen on Telltale games before.
Yeah,
for the most part.
And And a lot of the cast is that way. Like, not huge, but like you got some big, well-known voice actors in there. The narrator's Billy West. And it's just different since I'm so used to, not in every game, but I'm so used to getting most of the cast just being the group of Telltale regulars, like even in the Walking Dead games. But, and you still get some of them here. You get a few of them in roles. But it feels like this is the time where they're really branching out to other voice actors.
Yeah, and I think that it's just been impacted by animated shows and movies that have taken this same direction over the last 10 years or so. This is the mid-2010s where this is hitting the hardest. All of a sudden, there are no Disney movies that are led by voice actors. They're all led by actors of live action. Yeah, celebrity actors. So because you played as Patton Oswalt, I played as the other one. So I played as the girl who... I was actually already leaning toward playing as the girl because she's the one on the box art. And
oh, is she? I didn't even notice.
Yeah, she is. And what's weird is, like, I remember when this game came out, I remember hearing, oh yeah, Patton Oswalt. So, like, he was the celebrity associated with this game. So I didn't even know who played the girl. Even though the girl's, like, listed as the default option, you actually have to go down to pick the boy.
Right.
So the girl's played by Catherine Tabor. Have you heard of her before?
I have not heard of her. What else has she done?
Tons of stuff. I looked her up. She's very much a voice actor, and not like the kind of celebrity voice actor that Patton Oswalt sort of categorizes into.
Interesting.
Yeah, the thing that I knew her the most from, she's one of the sisters on Loud House. Couldn't tell you which one. She's also Padme on Star Wars Clone Wars. And I've seen all of Clone Wars, so I recognized her, and I was excited for that. I was excited to get like a voice actor kind of voice instead of a character actor kind of voice. But as I was playing, and I don't mean any offense to the effort of Catherine Tabor, I kept thinking about how Patton Oswalt's voice is so much more like character actor characterful. When you cast Patton Oswalt, you make a choice with what characterization you want that character to have.
You want him to sound like Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, and Catherine Tabor does not sound like the female version of Patton Oswalt at all. She's like doing a
I know her
nice
now.
voice.
I'm looking at her behind the voices. I know her now. She's in Psychonauts 2.
Cool.
Other stuff.
Yeah, she's been all over the place. I
feel silly not knowing who she was now. I just didn't know her name.
Yeah, she's got a lot of roles from various cartoons and games and such. And she's kind of just doing like a normal girl's voice. And it made me regret not having the character choice, the casting choice of Patton Oswalt in my version, but not enough to, I'm not going to change it. I'm in for 13 episodes of this voice now.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Saying it actually made me regret it a little bit, but maybe it gets more characterful as they develop the personalities of these characters more and more. I assume that I'll identify with their voice casting a little bit more as well.
Right. I get you. I get you.
There is, I will say, just to be honest and give you, the listener, our full report. There is some bad voice acting in this video game. It comes around every once in a while, and when it does, it is noticeable. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I don't think anything really stood out to me as that bad. What would you say was bad if you had to single it out? If
you're not with me on this, I don't want to throw gas on that fire.
Okay, I mean, I wasn't like wowed by the voice acting, but it's not one of those games where I listened to it and I said, "Ooh, that's stinky."
Well, because you had something I didn't. How did you feel about Patton Oswalt as Jesse?
He's just doing his Patton Oswalt thing. I don't want to say it takes me out of it, but like you hear him and you just say, "Yep, that's Patton Oswalt, all right." It's not like he's doing anything different for a character or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you said, they picked Patton Oswalt because they specifically wanted that Patton Oswalt voice.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder if like they just had the money for one gender of that kind of casting, and they didn't like give it to both genders equally.
Yeah.
If because I would think like if you're gonna give Patton Oswalt, if you're gonna give the character that voice, which is a noticeable, recognizable, kind of like twerpy but fun sort of voice. If you're gonna do that for the boy character, for the girl character, maybe you go Melissa McCarthy. I'm trying to think of like who would you do to match that rather than picking just a different voice actor.
Right. She doesn't necessarily feel like the same version.
No, yeah, she's not. She does not come across in equal terms to like the character voice of the boy main male character of the game.
That does make me a little interested. I might have to like hear her in like a YouTube, like a long play or something.
Yeah, it's not a bad voice. It's just a voice compared to.
I feel that.
Melissa McCarthy, maybe. Who else could? Who's the girl on Saturday Night Live? She does really good impressions.
Kate McKinnon?
No. She Villaseñor? Is that the I need to find out. I think this is a Google break.
One of our classic Google breaks.
Yeah, one of our classic Google breaks.
If you guys listening had Google break on your bingo card,
Melissa Villaseñor, I was right.
Oh.
Yeah, she's got a very distinct voice in that. I would have picked her. That's who I would have done.
Okay.
Just saying. Anyway,
if it were my video game.
So here's like the character breakdown. You want to get into this? The main characters of the game are you, Jesse. Your name Jesse, regardless of your sex or gender. And you've got two friends who are just like your forever friends with you all the time, Olivia and Axel.
Yeah.
Who's the voice actor who plays Axel? It's very recognizable.
Brian Posehn.
Okay, so he's the guy from like the Sarah Silverman project and stuff.
Yeah.
He's
in Mission Hill. He has a very distinct voice.
Very, very distinct voice. Very funny.
We almost, me and my roommates almost saw him perform stand-up comedy here, but we didn't. I think we just forgot and didn't get around to getting tickets.
Well,
but we wanted to. We wanted to see him.
So you have a pig. You have a pet pig named Reuben.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, there's Petra, who is a girl about town and sort of is the roguish,
pretty well known,
capable one of you. Like she can go into the Nether and fight people and come back, and she's a regular Lara Croft about it.
Do you know? So Petra's voice actor. Do you know what other Telltale character?
I recognize her so much, or as familiar, but like I can't place it.
It's Gortys.
Oh, cool.
Ashley Johnson. She's another.
Ashley.
She does a lot of voice acting.
Yeah. She's a classic. Could have been anywhere kind of voice actor as well. And then there's a gang of people who are kind of like your group's rivals, named Lucas and the Ocelots.
What a team name.
Yeah, and they're like a biker gang with ocelot embroidered leather jackets.
Every time I saw the back of their jacket, it just looked like Conquer the Swarm.
Yeah. It's supposed to be an ocelot's face, but it definitely looks like Conquer.
Every time I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's Conquer. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
Yeah, it's it's like the Idarb sprite of Conquer.
Yeah, we just played Idarb recently. It's still in my head, so every single time.
So that's all the people on like the ground floor of this game. That's like your posse, your peer group. Petra, Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
the three people that follow Lucas in the Ocelots gang. You, Jesse, Olivia, your friend, and Axel, your other friend, and Ruben the pig, which is
I will
already
say
a
that
lot.
it's a lot, but I think at least they kind of let them build up as time goes. Because
Yeah.
at first it's just you, Olivia, and Axel.
Well, not even
And
then. Before, they immediately bombard you with 4 different names.
yeah,
Before you even see your main character, you're also told this backstory of there was this
oh, you're
group
right.
called the Order of the Stone, and it was Gabriel the warrior, Eligard the engineer, Magnus the rogue, and Soren the architect. And between all 4 of them, they fought an ender dragon, which was considered a major historical fabled feat of strength. And then
Yeah.
then they say like, okay, remember that, and then here's you in a treehouse.
You know what's something I really liked about this? I think I brought it up on a past episode, but I like that we are playing a Telltale game in this more modern formula, but it's their first E-rated one in a long, long time.
Yeah, it might be their first ever. I guess since Bone would have been E.
Well, I think individual episodes they did had their own. I think some of them were like I think some of the Strong Bad episodes were rated E.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like individual episode ratings, but
It's funny to me to see
yeah.
Strong Bad rated E because I agree it should be for everyone, but it's also just like they're saying crap a lot, which is not a slur or
They
curse
do it
word
here
at
too.
all. But just like this is a game for kids, they're just gonna say crap for like 15 minutes. That's
I
kind of funny
think
to me.
Homestar Runner is pretty.
Yeah.
It sits comfortably in that E10 plus area, where it is E-rated, but they're able to get away with some stuff like saying crap.
Yeah, I mean saying crap. Yeah, again, it's not kids can
They
say
do it a lot
crap.
here.
They're allowed.
Yeah.
It's just the
They're
vibe
allowed
of
to say it.
cursing is beyond a kid level usually in this kind of stuff. Just cursing as an
Yeah.
action, not even the specific curse. But yeah, this one really is rated E, and I thought it was cool going through a story that tried to do the same, like, hey, your choices are going to matter thing that we've seen from everything else we've played so far after Walking Dead. But the like the ramifications of your choices in Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, Tales from the Borderlands, those have always been so extreme that to make it feel like we're really going to have to regret our choices, they needed to bring it to a place that children really weren't allowed to follow. And in this one, I feel like they've lowered the stakes significantly. I don't feel like I'm going to have to like carve into my friend to grab his spleen out of his body and eat it as a power-up in this game.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, whereas I could see it in most Telltale games. I don't think a raptor's going to lay eggs and decaf in this game.
Poor decaf.
Poor decaf. But yeah, the perfect character.
It's all downhill from there.
But like it allows, I think, that style of cool thing to be around for kids. And I think that's nice.
I think they do a good job because, like, even if they don't result in someone dying or gruesome actions being taken, it might, and it kind of does here, but I wonder if it will even more so going forward. It puts more of an emphasis just on your character's relationship with the other characters. Because, like, with the choices I was making, I was feeling like, shit, Axel, I've been really, like, going against you. I hope you don't hate me or anything going forward.
Yeah.
I hope I'm still within Axel's good graces.
I actually had the same thought because I went against Axel a lot, even though I liked Axel.
Yeah, I like Axel, but he
He does have a lot of
goes pretty
bad
strong.
ideas.
Yeah, he's kind of the Kenny of this group, where he makes very rash decisions.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you know what's interesting is I realized that this is another zombie survival game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I thought that when you fight the zombies at night in the woods.
yeah, because I don't think of these zombies as anything other than like Goombas. But yeah, this is the same setting as The Walking Dead. It's like a
Yeah,
camp of survivors that have built a wall to keep the zombies out in a world overrun with the undead. This is the same story as The Walking Dead.
it's The Walking Dead for little children.
Yeah. Like that's all of what this game is. I hadn't thought about Minecraft as this kind of vehicle, but I guess this is to Telltale's credit for recognizing it. This really is the same. Like, you can do a lot of what you can do in Walking Dead and what Telltale had been celebrated for so long with The Walking Dead in this reality,
Yeah,
without doing so in a way that is genuinely upsetting on a lot of different levels for children.
yeah. I think it's cool that they make a game that lets kids experience what the other Telltale games are. But also, I just think it's cool I don't really have to worry about all this gruesome shit for once. Like, I don't have a problem with it in Walking Dead or anything. Like, I've enjoyed these games, but it's just a nice kind of refreshing breath of fresh air to play something that can be a little more innocent.
Yeah, yeah. It's I was feeling a sense of relief at the big choice in this episode when I realized, oh, this is the big choice. Wow, cool. I don't mind. Like, it's
Yeah, it's fine.
I could just do either one, and I'd be fine.
I've killed people in these games.
Yeah, usually this choice results in a friend leaving me forever. And it turns out that this big choice at the end of this episode is just like, oh, yeah, all right. I
have
don't feel
bested
very
these people.
I mean, I'm sure this is this vibe of Telltale. I'm sure that on episode 5 and then probably again in episode 8, because the last 3 episodes of this season were like a special thing. We're going to be up close with our choices yet again. But
Right.
in the meantime, I'm just kind of coasting. I'm just picking whatever I want to pick and not even really feeling any kind of way about it. And I
mean,
needed that.
I still think about these choices because, like I said, I do want to still have like good relationships with the characters. But it's nice that I don't have to worry about someone getting their head ripped off or shot.
I think these choices are also easier. So later on in the episode, you're escaping a big thing that happened, and it's you, Olivia, Axel, and Lucas, the leader of the Ocelots. He's there. And Axel and Lucas, especially Axel toward Lucas, do not like each other at all. And
They hate each other.
and Axel, in my opinion, at least, just brings up some unnecessary shit constantly toward Lucas.
Yeah, I feel like he's out of line
He's
more
clearly out of
often than
line.
he's in line. Yeah.
So it was easy for me to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to tell Axel he's being out of line. Because the options are tell Axel he's being out of line, tell Lucas he's being out of line, or say something to the effect of, can't we all just get along? And
Nice Flanders.
I think the takeaway of like how to deal with that decision was made so obvious in this episode, where in a Walking Dead it would be purposefully complicated with other feelings where you have to think about like, okay, what are my priorities in terms of my moral agenda, my relationship to these characters, the practicality of trying to get through a situation, etc. In this one, it really is down to just like, hey, we're going to throw you a softball. This one's a slow pitch. Axel's
Yeah, I
being out of
wonder if-
line. Are you going to tell him that or not? And it's, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll ramp that sort of thing up as it goes on. I have zero idea of what to expect in this game.
Yeah, I think that The Walking Dead, it never really gives you tutorial choices like that. so much. It gives you
Yeah.
tutorials in like how the system works and how your controls work on a technical level, on a mechanical level, but it doesn't purposefully throw you a slow ball just to see like, do you know how morality works, because it's expecting that you do. And I think that is ultimately why I'm going to leave this game thinking that Walking Dead was better. But I do see where I would look at that in The Walking Dead and I'd see that as respecting my intelligence as a player, and I would look at this in Minecraft as respecting the fact that young kids and people who are not used to playing video games might just genuinely not understand how this kind of system would work yet.
Yeah.
And they're giving them
totally.
some ramp up on how that works.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing like how this develops, like how they make a Telltale game that little kids can play. Let me ask you, Mitchell. We just kind of jumped right into the episode plot, which is great.
Yep.
But I wanted to just.
I mean, we're like 50 minutes into the podcast, but yes.
I want to cut through the 50 minutes of shit and just ask, how did you feel about this episode overall? Did you enjoy it?
I don't know if it's just asking and cutting through shit when you wait 50 minutes to do it, but I will answer. I was bored a lot, to be completely honest.
Okay.
I think the writing in this game is toned down to a not like no, I'll say it. The writing is structured in the way that a children's show makes its writing.
Okay.
Which doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means marketed toward children. But in this case, I do think it does mean at the expense of non-children a little bit. You know, I hate to be the kind of person that says children's shows are inherently boring for adults or anything
They're
like that.
beneath me.
But they can be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they certainly can be if they don't try to like write with the same amount of priority toward saying something. Like, if you're saying something with your writing, it doesn't matter if you're writing for adults or children. Most people can get something out of it. But if you're just sort of going, and that's kind of what I got a lot out of this episode, then it can be boring if you're not like into the aesthetic. I am thinking though, like if I was a longtime Minecraft fan, there's a lot of very sly references to like, hey, you know about stone golems? Here's a stone golem. You know about the withers? Here's a wither.
Here you go.
The wither's like the worst thing in the world. Look at this, it's here.
Look at this shit.
There's a scene early on at the EnderCon building competition, the winner of which will be featured at EnderCon, which is a convention about Minecraft. And there is Minecon in real life. It's totally a take on Minecon. And I think everything at that building competition is very, very built to be like, hey, you like Minecraft? Recognize this. So I think if I had an emotional connection to Minecraft or a nostalgic connection to Minecraft, I might feel more like I'm just sort of getting something out of it in the same way that I did with Strong Bad, where like even in the slower Strong Bad episodes where I wasn't, jiving so much with the actual writing, like the story plot of it or the mechanics, I would usually at least like say, hey, I love talking to Coach Z. I just enjoy that. I just enjoy talking to Coach Z.
That's true. I'm kind of there with you. I caught myself falling asleep a couple times, but I think that's more because I was tired. But
yeah,
also, none of the characters, I mean, like, I get who the characters are supposed to be, but they're not like super strong personalities.
Right.
It's not like something else made for kids that like goes all in making the characters like super wacky. Like, I've been playing the new SpongeBob game alongside this.
All right.
Also a property, like lots of people enjoy SpongeBob, but it is a property mainly meant to appeal to kids. But I love SpongeBob. I love the characters. The characters have very strong personalities. You know who the characters are, and they say wacky, funny things. Same with Homestar and the Strong Bad characters. But no one here really has super strong personalities. Like, I get that, like, Petra's the cool girl about town. I get that Axel is kind of the hard head. But, like, I don't know how I would describe... Like, I don't get much out of Jessie or...
Well, Jessie, as the player character, I don't think has a whole lot other than she idolizes the Order of the Stone, the old-timey, from however long ago, heroes that sort of made that name for themselves. And she loves her Big Reuben. And I'm kind of, as a player character, I can give that a pass of being enough. But for, like, Olivia, Olivia is very similar, and Olivia's not a player character, so I don't really know what we're doing with her.
Yeah, I don't really get anything out of Olivia. And even the characters I brought up who, like Petra and Axel, even though I know what their roles in the story are, I know what these characters are supposed to be, I'm still just... It's not like they're super strong personalities I can really latch onto. It's not like they say super memorable things. I couldn't tell you a line Olivia said.
I could actually tell you quite a few lines Axel said. I think Axel, not to spoil a segment later in the show, but he's definitely given the most amount of character out of the people that we've seen.
Right.
And I'm hoping that at least that level, if not more, I mean, really I'm hoping for more, but like at least that level is eventually doled out to everyone.
Yeah. I just feel like maybe other than Axel, all the other characters' dialogue is... It's dialogue to move the story along.
Yeah.
Rather than dialogue that lets you really know these characters and their wants and stuff. So it's totally possible for something for kids to have great characters, great writing, but I'm just not getting it with this first episode at least.
Yeah, and on paper, they go through a lot, right? Like they start at that treehouse scene, and in that treehouse, it's you and Olivia and Axel and the pig Reuben, and they're just joking about, like, would you rather fight 100 chicken-sized zombies or 10 zombie-sized chickens? And that's, you know, that classic would you rather. And I definitely, for the record, would rather fight 100 chicken-sized zombies.
Interesting.
A large chicken I would not touch.
See, I went the opposite.
Okay.
You could be swarmed by so many of those small zombies, and I assume these zombies... I don't know how zombie rules work in Minecraft, but the way it was presented... I forgot that Minecraft just had its own zombies. I was just thinking in terms of regular zombies. I was thinking you could get swarmed by so many of these zombies and get bit by a zombie, like any one of these.
Oh, and like not even notice you were bit because it's so small?
Yeah. Exactly.
Gotcha.
I feel like there's so much more danger in that. Like, you know, a zombie-sized chicken is still, like, a danger. I wouldn't want to fight a zombie-sized chicken. But at least that's, like, food. That's a lot of food you can eat.
Sure, yeah. If you're going to harvest these enemies, which is an angle of it that I had not considered.
But also, like, if you're attacked by a chicken...
Yeah.
That's just gonna hurt. If you're attacked by a zombie, I feel like there's more complications.
Yeah, I was thinking in terms of Minecraft zombies, which I've only seen punch. I don't know if they spread zombieism like other kinds of zombies. I also I caught up with the HBO Last of Us show this weekend.
Right.
Those zombies are freaky. That's all I have to say about that.
Are they chicken sized?
They can be.
Ooh. What an angle.
Yeah, like if they get a baby that is roughly the size of a chicken. I guess people can be chicken sized.
That's true.
Most people start out chicken sized and only leave from there.
I might need to get some chicken after this podcast.
Okay, so here's I think we need to do a basic plot breakdown just to get our listeners on the same page, even though I like how high level we are talking about it. Your group of 3 friends and a pig want to enter the EnderCon building competition in order to win. You think you have a good chance at winning. Your friends are, you're not like all-stars at it, but you are at least pretty good at building.
Yeah.
And building is the currency, like the cultural currency of the Minecraft world. So everyone likes building. Everyone's good at it. And you decide you want to build a large Enderman statue to look like an Enderman. It's going to be cool. It's going to be big.
Well, you can choose what to build.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I chose an Enderman statue. Did you?
I also picked
okay.
Enderman. But I don't know if it really matters which one you build. I like that you have the choice.
What's the other one?
I think the other one's a creeper.
Yeah, it's a creeper or an Enderman.
So Axel suggests a creeper, Olivia suggests an Enderman, and then you can suggest a zombie. I just went with an Enderman.
Yeah. Enderman is in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
That's why I chose Enderman.
He already has a leg up over the others.
He's also just taller, and I thought that would help make the statue taller. So you build that, and you're looking like you might actually win. You put fireworks on it. It turns out pretty good.
People are loving it.
Lucas and the Ocelots, one of the Ocelots is named Adrian, and he's just an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like the cartoon bully of cartoon bullies, who decides to allow lava to engulf your statue.
Yeah, he decides, you know what? I'm gonna be a dick. I'm gonna ruin their shit they got going on. They're Endermen.
Yeah, so this is somehow not an arrestable offense, and not that I know if there's like police or anything in Minecraft world, but your pig Reuben runs away, scared of the lava. Understandable reaction, in my opinion. And
I would run as well.
You have the choice of either running after Reuben or trying to stop the lava from engulfing your statue. What did you do?
I had everyone go after Reuben.
Yeah, me too.
Even though it just felt right, but at the same time, I was also thinking in the back of my head, like, you guys can guard our what we built, and I can go get Reuben.
Yeah, that's
kind of how it would have played out anyway.
I just can't say the thing I want to say in this choose your dialogue option Telltale game. I want to say I'll go because you won't help me find something. That's not how finding works. You just stay here and like build a dam to contain this lava and make sure that it doesn't spread all over to everyone. That seems more dangerous than just finding a pig. But I did want to find Reuben. I'm not going to like turn back on Reuben now.
I love this pig.
Loving this pig is something that this game has tried very hard to make happen. You can choose a name for your team. You have to choose a name for your team. I chose the Order of the Pig.
That's a good one. I feel like I wrote down what I named my team, but I'm not seeing it in my notes, and I'm not remembering what it was.
It comes up a lot. In fact, if you choose Order of the Pig, you later meet Gabriel, who's the original warrior in the Order of the Stone, and he asks what your team name is, and you say Order of the Pig.
Order of the Pig. Yeah, I went with the Dead Enders. I kind of like Order of the Pig better. I don't know why I picked the Dead Enders.
That's fun, though. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, they liked it, too. They were like, ooh, that sounds like pirates. Good choice.
Yeah, if you say Order... Everyone in this world is so convinced that having a pig is the lamest, stupidest thing you can do.
What are you thinking owning this pig?
Yeah, because Olivia says, hey, you're not going to bring Reuben to this building competition, are you? And Jesse's like, yeah, of course we are. What are you talking about? Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, it's Reuben.
And Olivia talks about bringing a pig to something in the same way that an older sibling might say, you're not going to ride your bike with the training wheels to this, are you?
You're not going to like honk the horn at the con.
You're not going to be visibly wearing a diaper at school tomorrow, are you?
Hey, how you doing? And it's weird because like they give Ruben an Ender Dragon costume. It looks great.
Yeah.
I would love to see that at a con. I would be like, holy shit, that's great. That's awesome that you did that.
Yeah, and like I'm just thinking about bringing a dog to something, and it seems like the same vibes. And as soon as you show up to the building competition, someone like bumps into you as he's walking by, and he goes, "Nice pig, losers!" Like right away, it's lame to own a pig, and I feel like that is not a relatable enough plot point. They maybe needed to do some more world building around that in order to be like, they should have had Olivia say, if you bring a pig to something, that's first grade.
That's 7 years bad luck.
Yeah, that's only Nazis do that. Like you really have to build up why that would be seen as bad.
I know, like, it doesn't make you a Nazi to own a pig. It's just that is what they do.
Yeah, it's silly. It's reiterated the whole episode of like, oh, you could have been like looking like pretty cool heroes, but you had to have a pig here too. Like, what are you talking
tripped
about?
At the finish line. Yeah, if anything, this pig makes me even better.
Yeah. So you go looking for the pig. It takes you through just sort of the outskirts of the town, where you eventually find Ruben in outside of a cave. And it's dark enough at this point that as soon as you find him, zombies start attacking. And there's some quick time zombie fights. Kind of whatever. You're eventually saved by Petra.
Yeah. You know what's funny about this whole section when you're looking for Ruben is when I went into the woods, you can call out for Ruben.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was thinking like, oh, this is like some sort of a puzzle. Yeah. I have to call for Ruben, and maybe that'll help me.
I was thinking
find him
the
in
same
some way.
thing.
And then I remembered that's not the kind of Telltale game this is.
No, it's reminiscent of having a designated yell Jason button at the beginning of Heavy Rain. If you've ever played Heavy Rain.
I haven't played it, but I know that's what you do.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything to call Ruben here. It gives you the option on pressing in on the R stick, which I enjoyed. So Petra shows up and does a very at this point it's becoming kind of a standardized character trope in Telltale games of like combat ready girl boss,
right?
That we've seen in all of the Janes and the other characters of that nature in this world.
All the Mollies and Janes.
The Mollies and Janes and the Bloody Marys and stuff like that. In Minecraft, I like it the most, actually, of everything that we've seen so far. I just think that if you're living in this Minecraft world where people are going in and out of the Nether all the time, you need to be a Lara Croft level rogue. You just need to do this stuff all the time.
Yeah, it also just fits with the tone better. Like, this is already just like a cartoon for children. I buy that character more in something like this than I would Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's great. So Petra shoots some arrows around and defends Jesse and Ruben against all the interesting monsters that are coming out. And then she takes Jesse around in a way that read as fairly flirty for a little bit, regardless of which gender you pick for Jesse. I'll say it seems like it's acted out the same way both times.
Right.
And she takes Jesse through her like secret underground mine tunnel and teaches her how to craft and has her craft her own sword. So now you have a sword, which is nice. It comes in handy a lot.
She teaches you how to craft down in the mine.
And then you get ambushed by zombies on both sides of a bridge. Oh no, what did you do? Did you fight them or did you jump off the bridge?
Oh, I jumped off that bridge.
I fought them.
Ooh.
It ended up with me jumping off the bridge.
Oh, awesome. I just cut out the middleman.
It ended up with me jumping off the bridge because the bridge was destroyed by exploding creepers.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I figured there were just like too many coming from each side that I was like, it's better to just get out of here.
It eventually was the case, yes.
Yeah.
I was being unrealistic with my desire to fight with my brand new sword.
And then that leads into the opening credits.
Yeah, there's a
Takes a while
Tales
to
from
get
the
there.
Borderlands style credits montage here.
I like that they started doing that. It's weird to remember how, like, even Walking Dead Season 1, which is just such a huge Telltale game, they weren't doing that at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it would fit in Walking Dead, to be honest, but it does.
Yeah, I mean, they did it in Michonne.
They sort of did it in Michonne. In Michonne,
I mean,
was like it was a theme song, like out of universe though. Where in this and in Tales from the Borderlands, it's a montage of something that is happening in the story at the time.
oh yeah, I just mean like an actual like theme song introduction. Like it doesn't have to be in the universe, like in Tales from the Borderlands. I just mean like any sort of intro.
Yeah. Yeah, so they fall off the bridge and it's fine and there's no problems at all and they just swim back to the place they were.
Yeah, it's fine.
And they go to Endercon. Where
I like Endercon. I think this is a fun way to start your game.
So like real quick, this section is Petra is meeting up with someone to trade a wither skull. A wither is a very big secretive Minecraft enemy. And she killed a wither skeleton, which is not as big as a wither or anything, to get the skull. She was trading it for a diamond. She was supposed to trade it for a diamond. And this guy, Ivor, shows up and tries to make the trade, but he dupes them and gives them lapis instead. Lapis lazuli is a lot less expensive and it has a much lower value than diamonds, so they were tricked. And the whole rest of this section is about like finding Ivor in the crowd, which is difficult to do. He goes into a keynote presentation where Gabriel, the warrior from the Order of the Stone, I guess they're all still alive. It's not like that long ago. It's maybe only 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking from the beginning, I thought they were dead.
I thought they were like
just
hundreds of years ago or something. But
yeah,
I guess the
not.
lore in Minecraft didn't start very long ago.
Yeah, like in that opening, I thought you were seeing Gabriel's gravestone, but I guess it was just one of the posters.
Yeah, everything is so low texture on purpose, obviously, that it's sometimes difficult to know exactly what you're looking at. It's an interesting collection of aesthetics here.
I'll say this. I've never been like a super huge fan of the Minecraft aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think this works fine, but it is a little hard for me to get as into it as I want to be because of that.
I actually wish they went a little harder.
Right. Well, you were saying earlier with like the eyebrows.
Well, yeah, with the eyebrows, but also just, if this is the aesthetic, lean into it. Really make the whole world this kind of thing. There's so many like cheats in this game to make it look a little more characterful. And I think those cheats end up kind of doing a disservice to the purpose of the art style. Making it feel very without polish on purpose. I don't know.
I feel you. No, I get where you're coming from. I wonder if it just didn't bother me because I'm just not a fan of it to begin with. So anything that kind of deviates from that a little bit, like it doesn't like hurt it for me. But I like some of the little things like the potions in Ivor's little area being like just like 1 pixel wide.
Yeah, that has a lot of strong bad vibes on it to me.
Yeah, I thought that was a cute little touch.
Like all of the items are just like 1 pixel wide sprites that spin around in midair, and they're just interacted with on that level. I think that's kind of fun. Whenever they do stuff with that, and I think the reason that's fun is because it prescribes to this aesthetic, instead of like trying to cheat around it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I eventually agree with you. I think I would disagree that it can't be done well, I guess. But
Oh, I'm not saying it can't be done well. It's just not my thing.
sure. So they eventually find Ivor in the basement of this keynote speech that Gabriel's giving, and they find that Ivor already had 2 wither skulls, and they put together, because they just seem to know this, that the recipe for building a wither is 3 wither skulls and soul sand, and they have all that.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, Ivor puts together a whole wither. Gabriel tries to fight it really quick, and Ivor tries to fight it really quick. Doesn't work. And then a wither takes form, and a wither is like this giant 3-headed smoke dragon cloud that has tractor beams on each of the heads.
Tractor beams, tentacles.
Yeah, that it's this very, very Cthulhu-esque, Lovecraftian War of the Worlds type of UFO thing. That the tractor beams just like suck everything in, and because everything in the Minecraft world is just like blocks, it's just building unto itself with all the blocks it's sucking in.
Yeah. I think it's kind of neat, seeing these like blocky tentacles just kind of swaying around.
Yeah, and the speed at which it builds itself is wild too, because it starts like basically the size of a person or 2 people next to each other, maybe.
And then it just turns into this whole thing.
It just keeps eating the environment and adding to itself and becoming enormous. And if it kept up that speed, it should have like devoured the entire planet by the end of that. The end of this episode, but it I guess is a little slower than that.
Would have been a short season.
Yeah, maybe there's a max in like how big it can be. But
right, otherwise the world would start lagging.
Yeah, so Gabriel seems to know Ivor. Ivor seems like just some common grifter at first, but Gabriel knows him. Later on in the episode, it's determined that the Order of the Stone, which was always thought of as being 4 people, was actually 5, and the 5th one was Ivor.
What? I've been thrown for a loop with this Ivor guy.
Yeah, I had thought the Order of the Stone was 4 people for like an hour and a half at that point.
Now you're throwing this curveball at me?
I have to learn that the Order of the Stone is 4 people and then 5 people in the space of one day.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, give me a little time to adjust next time.
Do you know who voices Ivor?
No.
Paul Rubens voices Ivor.
Who is that?
Do you know who that is?
Nope.
He is Pee Wee Herman.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, 100%.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Pee Wee Herman is just another voice he's doing, but he's done like lots of voice acting stuff. So as soon as I heard him, I was like, "That's Paul Rubens."
What's the status on Pee Wee Herman and his indiscretions? Do we forgive that guy?
I mean, do you mean him doing know what in a porno?
Yeah, I do. I think it's forgivable. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgave him like when news broke out. It's like, what do you expect? It's a porn theater.
No, that's not my take. I think you should not do that. Okay. Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm not going to hold it against him. That's like, there's so many worse things you could do.
Yeah, it is bad. I feel like I have to maybe defend those who are upset about it. It is bad to do. But yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't do it.
No. Yeah, it's gross for the other people there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's gross for the people in the porn theater.
As you're running away from the Wither, Gabriel gives Jesse this like amulet thing. It's the amulet of the Order of the Stone. There's a lot of the stone in this.
Yeah, of the pig.
Yeah, Order of the Pig. And Gabriel gives that to Jesse and basically says, you can use this at the Temple of the Order of the Stone to find the other Orders of the Stone members of the Order of the Stone. And then like he doesn't go through the portal that gets you there. Petra also stays behind and fights. But Ivor, somehow, even though he was being a big old coward the whole time, makes his way through the portal, and you have the choice. Then you're allowed to punch Ivor. So I punched Ivor.
Oh, could you punch? I don't remember being given the option.
Oh, you definitely could. When you go into the Nether for the first time, and Ivor just shows up, Ivor immediately says, "Wow, you idiots! I saw Petra running around. That could be bravery, but bravery is often stupidity." And, like, Ivor's just on his bullshit immediately.
I'm better than you. I'm smarter.
I'm smarter because I ran away.
I'm super cool.
Even though,
You're
like,
not.
he's absolutely not taking any responsibility for, making the creature that's eating everything.
Yeah, he tries to blame it on you for taking his potion, and it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't have had this whole little scheme.
Yeah, so I punched him in the face because he was
I think
being
that's
a little
justified.
shit. Yeah. So Petra and Gabriel were left behind, and then Ivor kind of just like throws a potion down and poofs out of there.
Yeah, he says, "Look, you can use these minecarts, but I'm gonna use this potion."
Then
See ya.
you have a minecart section that goes through the Nether. There's like some fun action pieces there. Eventually, it just leads to another portal out of the Nether, where you are dropped to a place that's supposed to be nearby the Temple of the Order of the Stone. You make camp for a night. You do either a hut or a treehouse. Which one do you do?
I did the hut.
Oh, I did the treehouse.
Nice. To be honest, I didn't really care one way or the other. I just felt like I had sided with Olivia so much I decided to throw Axel a bone.
I wanted to throw Axel a bone, but like he kept going up against genuinely better ideas, in my opinion.
You didn't see any reason to give him the benefit of the doubt.
It just seemed like I should build a treehouse. It just seemed like that's what I should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the benefits of both. In the treehouse, you're up in the air. In the hut, you're in an enclosed area.
Yeah.
So it literally just came down to, look, I've been Team Olivia all day. I'm gonna give you this one. Don't fuck this up for us. And they didn't. It worked out fine.
Yeah, and it worked out fine in the treehouse as well. Axel, while there, finds out he delivers this line. Look, I'm going to tell you something, but you have to promise not to freak out. I have cookies. And he gives a cookie to everyone except Lucas because he hates Lucas. And also, while Petra and Gabriel were being like sucked away by the Wither, Lucas was just kind of frozen there and didn't fight. And Axel hates that about him.
He really holds it against him.
Yeah, so much of the larger character themes of this episode are about cowardice. Mm-hmm. Like Axel or Lucas was frozen. Axel hates that Lucas was too cowardly. Ivor was called a coward many times, and Gabriel was like fighting in place of Ivor cleaning up his own mess. I guess it's just about, are you a coward or not so far?
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to build on that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's simple enough for a little kid's story, rising above being a coward.
Yeah. Kids, I think, don't need to be cowards. Don't need to worry about being cowards, actually.
Yeah, what do you have to worry about?
I haven't met a kid who was a coward and made me think, like, this is really dragging everyone else down.
Yeah, I think my nephew is not the bravest kid out there, but, like, he doesn't have to be. Like, the things he's scared of is, like, going in a room when it's dark and not wanting to go on Splash Mountain when we go to Disneyland because of the big drop. Mm-hmm. Like, who's that really affected?
Yeah, I saw this show. It was like a reality show where people had to face their fears. And the big thing they brought up for this, like, one lady, she said, I'm afraid of tigers. And they said, okay, great. We can put you face to face with a tiger, and we're going to do exposure therapy on this, and we're going to get you a little bit closer and closer to a tiger until you're not afraid anymore. And they did do that, but I'm just wondering, like, why can't you be afraid of tigers?
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable thing to be afraid of.
Yeah, like also like how often are you seeing one? One you might see more often, and I saw another episode about this, was the fear of snakes. But like it's so good to be afraid of snakes.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not afraid if I see a snake on TV or something. I don't like see a snake and go like, "Oh, geez, I just can't even watch." But if I saw a snake in real life,
Yeah.
I would probably be a little scared.
I actually think it would be good for me to be more afraid of snakes because I'm not that afraid of snakes. But I probably should be. I probably should be more afraid of snakes.
I saw a video. So this is something I don't know if you know about me, but sometimes when I'm not drawing or playing my little video games, I just like watch hours of videos of orangutans and gorillas on YouTube.
I did. I knew. I mean that just sounds right.
Not every day, but like maybe once every like 3 or 4 months, I'll just fall down a hole where I'm like, I need to watch more of these. And there's a video where they're training baby orangutans, like orangutans that have been taken from their parents, and like they're trying to rehabilitate them to live out in the wild.
Yeah.
So they have to teach them stuff like being afraid of snakes. So in this video I was watching, they have like a little rubber toy snake, and these orangutans, as soon as they see this snake, they just like all grab one another and huddle up into a big orangutan ball.
Whoa, they want that?
Yeah, not
to
a
happen?
literal ball. Yeah, they want them to be afraid of. They need these orangutans to know.
But being a ball is like the way to do it.
Well, they just know to be afraid.
Okay.
They just know to like huddle, grab one another, and get away from this snake. And then they taught them, like one of the handlers comes in with a big stick and is like, if you see one of these poisonous snakes that's going to kill you, attack it with this stick. With like a big club.
Huh.
So you will not be killed by a snake.
We had to take my dog Colton to get rattlesnake trained, and it was essentially the same idea, where wolves and snakes didn't really like historically exist in the same place until dog domestication.
Right.
So they don't have an inbred fear of snakes. Unlike cats, which if you show them a cucumber, get freaked out because they think it's a snake.
Right, because it's snake-esque.
Yeah, it's snake adjacent.
Yeah, I think the orangutans are the same way. Like, they just have that instinctual knowledge to, if they see this snake, they need to be afraid of this. But they were, like, teaching them how to handle a snake.
It feels weird to me to say wolves, because if I talk about my family members, I say wolfs with an FS.
Your pack of wolves.
Yeah, I don't turn it into the animal, because it's spelled differently and also a name.
Right.
Yeah.
How did we get on this? I forget where we were.
Yeah, we really just gave up.
Being afraid of the thing.
So the next morning,
it just seems smart to be afraid by.
The next morning, you're all hiking toward just outward. You were told by Gabriel that portal was supposed to take you closer, sort of, to the Temple of the Stone, but you don't immediately see it. Then you do immediately see it, and then you go there, find out that yes, there used to be 5 of the Order of the Stone, and Ivor was one of them. And you plug your amulet of the stone into like a light switch kind of thing, and it shines 2 points on a map where Magnus and Ellegaard are supposed to be. The engineer and the rogue. Magnus is the rogue, Ellegaard is the engineer.
Yeah, this is another choice where it really just, like, if you're gonna find both anyway, the choice is which one you're gonna find first.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter if you're gonna be finding the others, but it's still presented as a, are you on Team Olivia or Team Axel?
Yes, because Axel won. You get the sense that like your characters kind of are a new sort of Order of the Stone style squad where everyone has analogs in the old way. And Magnus, as a rogue, is kind of like... Well, I would have said Axel's more like a warrior, but I guess Axel sees himself as a rogue. And Olivia sees herself as an Ellegaard-esque engineer. So they both want to meet their, like, favorite Order of the Stone person.
Yeah, they just want to do it right now.
Uh, yeah, and I if this were The Walking Dead, I would assume that me choosing to go to one first over the other would mean that something bad is going to happen after I do the one, so I actually never get to do the other. But I don't really feel that way about this. I feel like I'm just going to do both.
Yeah, but it's possible. I mean, who knows? Maybe, like, something will change.
Yeah, and the reason you can't just all go, you have to pick which one you're going with, is because Lucas is there, and Lucas is saying, hey guys, I'm actually not going to go with you. I need to stay here at the temple, because I bet Petra, if she's still alive and well, will eventually come here looking for us, and I need to be here when she gets here. And also, can one of you stay with me, because I'm lonely? So one of the three of you has to stay behind. For some reason, it's never even considered that Jesse would stay behind.
Yeah, we can't have the main character stay here.
Yeah, even though Jesse, out of all of them, is the only one that's like got a friendship going with Lucas.
Yeah.
So if you go to Eligard first, you are basically picking to spend your time with Olivia in the next episode, because like the episode ends right after this choice. And if you go to Magnus first, you're picking to spend the time with Axel. I didn't realize that, so I'll just tell you, I chose Eligard.
I did too.
Okay. But
I decided to go with I did know that you were going to be going with one over the other, and I don't know what made me pick this in retrospect. I can think of reasons now that are a good reason to pick it, but at the time, I don't know why I picked it. I guess I just thought, you know what, Axel, you were really out of line last night. Just to stick it to you, I'm going to go with Olivia. You stay here. You make friends with Lucas here. You got some stuff to work out.
Yeah, I think for me, it was, I just wanted Eligard the engineer on my team more than Magnus the rogue. Just the goal of what we were going for. I felt like having an engineer was better. Right. And then I regretted it. I actually instantly regretted it when I realized, oh, that means I'm leaving Axel behind on his own with Lucas. He's going to kill this guy. Axel will kill Lucas while I'm gone.
He's a crazy man. He has a thirst for blood and will not hold back. I love the idea of thinking that Axel is just this unstoppable monster.
Well, I did have to like hold Axel back against like beating up or maybe kicking out Lucas the night before.
Right, but it didn't feel like he was gonna like hurt him. He was just against him staying there. He was just like,
it looked like maybe they might throw some punches. I got to punch Ivor, so punching exists in the universe.
That's true. Punching is something you can do in Minecraft.
There are some verbs in Minecraft that it's interesting to think of, like, oh, you can't punch maybe, or like you can't kick, because I've never seen a kick happen. That makes me think maybe kicking's not in this. Whereas in any other thing, I would just assume it's real life rules, but there's the rules, the physical rules of how this world works are very unique. So I have to think,
people
like, can
don't
people
kick
get punched?
In this world.
Maybe people can get punched.
People can get punched, but we're not sure if people can get kicked or not.
Yeah, we haven't seen kicks.
Well, I also just feel like, we did get some character out of Axel. Maybe this will help get some more characterization out of Olivia, maybe. I mean, I didn't think that when I made the choice, but just now, in retrospect, thinking back on it. Maybe it'll help get her some time to shine.
Yeah, it's interesting that this is the end of an episode choice, because this is going to be, if they actually like go through with it, a hugely different episode. In episode 2, because I'm going to a different location with a different person with a different goal. I'm just going to experience a very different story. I don't know how episode 2 could be one thing, like an episode of these games usually has to be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I kind of wish one of us picked the other one just so we could see. But that's not how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, so that's that episode.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad, but I wasn't like super wowed by it. But
yeah,
I had a fine enough time. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle, because the Minecraft universe is so mechanically based, because that's like the interesting thing about it. The Minecraft world has some like ingrained lore, but not plot. So everything
Yeah.
that they made up here is very like standardized fantasy made up. Like high fantasy kind of story where there's this Order of the Stone, these heroes, and there's this villain and a dragon and the monster, and you gotta save the day. And because that story has to be so standard to be able to adhere to the world, which is so mechanical, there's just like not a lot
you can grasp onto.
there's not too many interesting takes going on.
Yeah, they don't like
storytelling.
do their own. They don't do their own thing with it because doing their own thing with it is making it even exist.
Yeah, and I like the sort of Monkey Island way of saying, well, it's a fantasy setting, but also you can just have a convention. You can just have this other modern day real world thing show up in here.
Yeah. It's not like a standard pirate world. It's its own pirate world. It's its own flavor of pirate world that makes it interesting.
Yeah, they do that to Minecraft in order to make it an interesting place to be, and I appreciate that. But it does make it hard to stay completely invested all the time when like this is how they're going to present it. It's a little sleepy. It's a little sleepy.
Little sleepy. Maybe it gets better as it goes.
Yeah, there's a point in the convention where there's a DJ, and if you choose to dance in front of the DJ, Jesse does the Guybrush dance.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, from the one where he like
or they do.
Wiggles his knee, sort of.
Yeah, that's funny since Marty McFly also does that dance in Back to the Future.
Yeah, that dance is the Benang.
They just have that. Yeah, they just have that animation ready to go whenever they want to do it.
I wonder what Benang would look like in Minecraft. Maybe we already saw it, and I just can't imagine it would be recognizable.
There's no way you could look at it and say, "Yep, that's Benang."
Yeah, it's just like it's just like two yellow blocks on top of each other with a B.
A blue box on top for the top.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't possibly recognize Benang. So maybe that dance is the maximum of what they could do.
Yeah, that's still neat. I like whenever they slip that in there.
Unless it's like a big statue of a can of Benang.
Ooh, and then they like actually get... You know what? That would be great.
Yeah.
Like it's just a big structure that someone built.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be
That'd
fantastic.
Be awesome. Yeah, I'd automatically love this game.
So how excited are you to play 12 more episodes of Minecraft Story Mode?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it develops as it goes. That's a lot of time to really develop on this base idea.
I mean, I can only hope one episode at a time that like they go a little further, do some more interesting things. It's not a bad start, but it's like it kind of feels the same level of plot and world interestingness as like Adventure Time at the beginning. But Adventure Time, I had the sense that, oh, you can really do anything in this world, where this feels a little bit more limited.
Yeah, definitely. Like Adventure Time, that's another one. Like Monkey Island, it's like, sure, it has all these base fantasy story elements, but they go a long way in making them their own with like the aesthetic, and like it's a very silly magic world. You get it more than I'm getting. It feels more just like a fantasy world in the world of Minecraft rather than its own thing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Anything else before we jump into our segments?
Well, let me ask you this. Okay. Were you able to see your choices at the end?
No. Good point.
Yeah. I think I might know why. I'm not sure this is exactly why, but I think it's a thing where you really do have to log into your Telltale account to see your choices.
And I can't.
And I wasn't able to. And it says at the end, it's like, cannot load choices. Go to this website and log in to see. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do that, but it also wouldn't let me log in.
Oh, I made an attempt. I tried.
I attempted it, yeah.
I do have a Telltale account. It's active on the website.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I do have a Telltale account. I attempted to log in, but it just wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I think Minecraft might be in terms of game bigness, the largest casualty of the buyout. Because we got Monkey Island back, we got Wolf Among Us back, we got Walking Dead back, we got Sam and Max back, we got Batman back. Like all the big ones really are back. It's a lot of the smaller ones, except Minecraft it definitely was one of the big ones at the time. And it's not there anymore.
Do you think we're gonna run into this with like Guardians of the Galaxy and Game of Thrones, like the ones that just aren't up anymore?
Yeah. I mean, I totally understand why it is now impossible to get the percentages of the choices, because the server's just, it's not connecting to anything anymore. It's been unplugged. But why can't you tell me my choices? You know?
Yeah, just let me see. But the good thing is, I was looking for the choices, and they do have the choices listed on the Wikipedia page for the episode.
Cool. What are the choices that they have listed?
Well, one thing that I think is interesting is it's not just like the 5 choices they pick. They have like a lot of choices listed. And I don't know if it's just... Well, no, because it can't be just them writing down other choices you made in the episode, because all of these have the percentages with them.
Whoa.
Like, I know we already talked about the percentages not mattering, but just the fact that...
Yeah, they really don't.
There's like, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 choices
in just this first episode?
In just this first episode, there's 10 choices, all with their own percentages.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's double what you get in the average Telltale episode. So I was thinking, since we couldn't see our choices, maybe we could just go through them here and just say what we
Sure,
did.
yeah, I love that.
Okay, so the first one is, did you send Ruben away or keep him with you at the point in the forest?
I kept him with me.
I also did.
It looked like that might have resulted in him getting a black eye, like, permanently.
It does. Yeah, it says under the percentages, it's like, this percentage let Ruben get a black eye, and the other one is told Ruben to run from the monsters.
So, oh, wow, so I guess we just made the wrong choice.
Maybe, who knows what would have happened if we let him run. See, I thought it was a good choice. Who knows what's in those woods? If we're being attacked by zombies here, he could get ripped apart by zombies.
Well, no, I think that he's not going to die in the first episode.
Right, but I still thought it was a good idea to keep him with
I thought at the time, but then I saw the black eye and I realized I probably picked wrong. So what's the next one?
The next one is, did you rescue Lucas or alert Gabriel?
Rescued Lucas.
Same. But the percentages here...
well, yeah, because Lucas has kind of been a little bit... Well, he individually hasn't been a shit, but he lets Adrian be so mean to you. It's not fair.
Right, but I think it's pretty obvious that Lucas is pretty cool with you. Like, all throughout the episode, he's been like, yeah, sorry about him, he sucks.
Well, we're
cool, right?
He hasn't said sorry, is the thing. He hasn't said sorry about him or even tried to correct his friend's behavior. If you bring it up to him and you say, like, hey, your friend just, like, messed with our stuff and called us names and has been really mean, Lucas goes, yeah, I mean, that's a bummer, but that's not like me. That's not really about me.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about, he was talking about winning the EnderCon building competition. He says, like, no hard feelings, and that's what I was confused. But, like, throughout the episode, Lucas has been shown to at least be cooler than them.
Yes.
Like, willing to be your pal on this.
Yeah, Lucas and the Ocelots. Lucas is much cooler than the other Ocelots.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I also, I went to rescue Lucas.
Okay.
It just made sense since, the others could get Gabriel. So the next one is, did you keep Lucas from leaving the shelter?
Yes.
Yeah, I did too, you know. Better to have him around than just kick him out.
Yeah, just to appease Axel.
To hurt the team.
Axel needs to calm down, is the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Axel's the one in the wrong. It's not like he's doing anything to make the team worse.
Yeah, it's tricky because I agree with what Axel's saying. It's shitty that Lucas had let his friends be mean to us. It's shitty that Lucas was just too cowardly to even try to help Petra and Gabriel when they were being sucked up by the Wither.
Right.
Like, it makes all the sense in the world to be very mad at Lucas. It's just like, chill
He's
out.
being a real dick about it.
Yeah. Just be practical about it. Don't kick someone out of the treehouse when there's literal zombies down there just because you're kind of mad and didn't have an extra cookie.
We're better off having him here.
Yeah.
And then the next one is, did you choose to seek out Eligard or Magnus? We already discussed that.
Yeah, Eligard for me. So we did all those choices the same.
So it feels like there's 10 choices, but I think the first 5 are like the big story choices, and then the second 5 are the smaller choices.
Yeah, lightning round. What are those?
Yeah, the next one is, what did you name your team?
Order of the Pig.
We already talked about that one. Order of the Pig is at the top with the percentages.
Nice.
Did you threaten Otis, trade with him, or do nothing?
Otis?
It says Otis.
Oh, the pork chop vendor. I threatened him.
Yeah,
he
that's right.
stole my pig and was going to kill him for food.
Yeah.
In front of me.
I have no reason to bargain with this guy. I have all the reason to threaten this guy to give me my pig back.
Yeah. I'm not going to... It lets you use the sword, and it's like, do you want to trade the pig for the sword, or do you want to threaten him with the sword? Like, well, I don't want to lose the sword, and I hate this guy, so maybe...
Yeah, I felt good about that choice. Like, even though it's like, yeah, obviously this is the right choice. As soon as I picked it, I was like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, they got to throw you some slow balls in this game because it's for kids. You got to have some easy choices.
Yeah,
definitely threaten the mean guy who's trying to kill your pet.
Yeah, but it made me like I don't love Jesse at the moment, but it made me kind of like where I was able to take Jesse more.
Yeah.
Like, I was able to be like, I can make this character stand up and threaten this person who deserves it.
Yeah.
So the next one is, did you give Lucas your cookie?
Yes.
Yeah, I did too, but also it would have been so easy to break it in half so we both get half of a cookie.
Yeah, or like give a smaller portion to Ruben because he's a pig.
Yeah.
Because he's like a quarter of our body weight.
Did you build a creeper, zombie, or enderman? We already discussed that
right.
one. And then the last one is, did you win the building competition?
Oh, okay. So I lost because they lit mine on fire.
Yeah, I wonder if you leave... I'm guessing if you leave your 2 friends there to defend it, then you win.
Yeah, but, I mean, my pig's out there.
Yeah, exactly. But also, it doesn't really matter at all afterwards.
Yeah.
But still, I would have liked to win. But that's all the choices. It's interesting how there's 10 of them. I like that. I guess because we can't see them in game, we'll just have to look at it on the wiki in every episode.
Yeah, so let's filter that into our segments. My choice cut out of those is threatening Otis. I guess his name is Otis.
Same.
Because I think it was I can't speak for your version on this, but for Catherine Tabor's presentation as Jesse, this is one of the stronger voice moments for Jesse in my version of the game as well.
I totally agree. And we were just saying how, like, it's a very easy choice to make. Obviously, I'm going to threaten this guy over the other 2, but it's a choice where you feel good making that choice.
Yeah, I also I also just like how easy it is to make. It's just a sensible, honest, very quick decision. Didn't feel bad about it at all. It's
and
all
there's
good.
no downside to it. It's not like...
I mean, Otis might show up later and he's like, you should have let me kill your pet.
I bet you regret keeping that pig alive now.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, if only I just let him have Ruben.
What's your weekly guy?
My weekly guy is... So, I feel a little weird about it because at the beginning of the episode... So, my weekly guy is Petra, but at the beginning of the episode, I brought up how Petra doesn't have, like, a super strong personality. Like none of the characters really do other than Axel, but Axel's a douche. So I went with Petra just because I still liked her character enough. Like I thought she was a fun character to be around. And I just liked Ashley Johnson's voice acting for her. Like she felt like she sold the idea that like this character is capable and strong, but it's not really it's just very casual to this person. She's just like, yeah, just kind of went to the nethers. It was fine. I got this skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I feel like she was one of the more likable characters.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Who's yours?
Mine is Axel. Axel is a douche, but Axel's always been a douche in a way that's like he's right, like in the ways he's a douche. He's like pointing out how Lucas has been shitty in a way that like Lucas does not seem to take responsibility for. So I agree with Axel. I have to agree with Axel, even though I don't agree with Axel at all about how he's handling this situation. It's like Axel's saying, hey, Lucas, you shouldn't have been that complacent and cowardly. Now Petra's gone.
Get out of our group.
And I was like, yeah, that's correct. And then...
But also leave forever.
And I'm like, no, Axel, come on. That wasn't right.
You were almost there.
And I like what they've done with the character, like making you think, yeah, he's correct. But reckon with how much you want to pursue your correctness at the expense of others and at the expense of safety and practicality. I think that makes Axel the most interesting character that we have so far. And also I think his voice is just great.
Yeah, Brian Posehn always does a good job. I mean, he's one of those actors that's like it's always the same voice every time, but it's just a good voice.
It's just a great one, yeah. Yeah, it's a Patrick Warburton in that way.
Yeah, I agree that Axel is a good character. I just think when it came down to like which one I enjoyed being around more, I gave it to Petra, but Axel is the one who has the most personality, and I do agree with what you said. He is the one who's he is right to a point.
Yeah.
And then he's not as right.
He's right about his assessment of Lucas, but like just what to do about that is wrong. And then I side with Lucas over Axel on that because I'm just trying to say like, no, don't kick him out. That doesn't make any sense. And then Lucas is like,
just screwed
thank you. That guy was being shitty. And like, no, he was being right, Lucas. I'm just also making sure you're fed and won't die. It's not the same as siding with you.
He was shitty about being right.
Yeah, even prisoners get food, Lucas. Like I'm just trying to make everyone not die today.
He wanted to execute you instead of giving you the cookie.
Yeah.
Do you have a golden moment?
My golden moment is that turn that Axel takes in the encampment, where he just suddenly makes you sort of reckon with the fact that and everything we just talked about. That's I guess my golden moment.
That's a good one. It was kind of hard for me to pick a golden moment since, like we also discussed, this episode doesn't do a whole lot to be super interesting. But I gave it to just getting to EnderCon because I thought that was like a fun setting we haven't seen in Telltale games very often. Just kind of walking around and being at this this convention. I thought it was a nice place to be.
Oh, you know what?
What? Okay, cool. I didn't factor that in.
But also, while you're I changed my golden moment, but it's still an Axel moment. At EnderCon, if you find where Axel is, he's just been watching this one machine that like it does something with a chicken. It like lowers a chicken into a lower level of the machine, and then you just watch it go back up and then drop down again. And Jesse can ask Axel, "What are you doing?" And Axel goes, "Yeah, I know I should be looking for the guy or whatever, but this machine just presses all my buttons. Unnecessarily complicated, mean to birds for no reason. When something like this comes calling, you answer."
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault him for that.
Yeah, I love that, like, of the things he appreciates, just mean to birds for no reason.
He says, "I'm gonna watch one more of these chickens get owned."
Yeah, he doesn't hate chickens. He just like loves that it's mean to birds. I think that aspect actually put me over the edge for Axel as my weekly guy as well. I just like that kind of character.
That's good. You know who my runner-up was for weekly guy? I liked the usher who was scared of the chickens.
Yeah, he was a
just
character.
because he has that like beach bum type voice. Like he's a total throwaway character, but you still get a character out of him.
Yeah, like he's ushering for the Gabriel keynote, and there's a bunch of people swarming him, and he goes, "Oh, you guys big Gabriel fans or something? Too bad it sold out."
Yeah, and then he gets scared by the chickens.
Yeah.
And he's just good. You just get what he's all about without him even needing to do much.
Yeah, so that's been this episode of Minecraft Story Mode Season 1.
Yeah, a little lukewarm, but I didn't have a bad time with it.
Yeah. Wait, did you do... Sorry, what was your golden moment? Just the con?
Just going to EnderCon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a cool place to be.
Yeah, for sure. I'm certainly going to keep going because it's this podcast, but...
Because it's our job for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I would have dropped out if I played this when it came out and I didn't have a podcast.
I feel like I would have maybe done one more episode at least, and if it didn't get better, probably would have dropped it.
Yeah. I just don't...
But I wonder how many of those Telltale games I would have said that for other than this.
Well, I did do that for Back to the Future. Didn't finish it. And
I get it for Back to the Future. Definitely would have done it for Jurassic Park.
Yes. Well, Jurassic Park was not episodically released, so I don't know. I would have had all of it, and I could play it through it in like one day, so...
I guess that's true.
But I wasn't very interested.
I wouldn't have been happy about it.
Tales from the Borderlands, I think I would have finished.
I definitely would have finished. Like, even just that first episode just had me gripped.
Yeah, and Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us, I think I would have finished.
Yeah.
But, I don't know if I would have kept going on this one based on that episode, but it could go somewhere interesting. Waiting to see.
Yeah. I'll see. I have hope that it can ramp things up a little more.
Yeah, my like cultural osmosis idea of what this game was, I thought it was going to be like genuinely excruciatingly written based on what people said about it. I don't feel that way at all.
No, I don't think it was like awful. I don't think it's like new Tales from the Borderlands or anything. It's just not super. It doesn't really push that hard. Like the characters are pretty basic other than Axel. The elements in the world, there's not a whole lot to latch onto other than it being Minecraft.
You know, can I say something wild? I don't think it's going to end up worse than New Tales from the Borderlands, but just New Tales from the Borderlands Episode 1 versus this Episode 1, I think I like New Tales from the Borderlands Episode 1 more.
Kinda. Yeah, I think I would say that just because that first episode kind of made us think that wasn't going to be that bad. It kind of...
Yeah, like the Anu storyline in Episode 1 was bad. Just, like, Anu and Fawn seemed to be written worse than everyone else.
Yeah, but the others had, like, good character interactions.
Yeah.
Like, Octavio and Louis, you got some good... a good dynamic between. It felt like real friends talking to each other. And then Fran didn't really talk to that many people, but like her situation was very very relatable.
That like, first episode, just the Fran stuff, could have been a standalone Telltale, like part of no series. Don't even think about it in terms of Borderlands. It's just like a single episode out of the blue. Play this. It's an original IP. And I think it would have been great. And then everything about Fran after that first episode was way downhill from there.
What a bummer. It starts out so good. I would have thought she would have been like the VIP going forward, like a story you can get behind, but it's just bad the rest of the way.
Yeah, like somehow Anu became the good character out of the three after being the bad character in the first
Yeah, how
episode.
the hell did that happen?
Yeah, so if it has a similar kind of drop off in Minecraft, then that'll not be good. But I don't get the
I don't think it will.
I don't get the feeling it will. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like it'll stay a lot more consistent and will probably end up a less insufferable product.
I would guess that is true. Yeah. Okay.
Man, it feels like so we have been done with New Tales from the Borderlands for a while now, but it still keeps coming up.
Not that long, like less than a month ago.
Yeah, but like it feels like just because it wasn't very good, and then we jump into Michonne, like there's so many comparisons, and even now we're doing comparisons. I think it's just because we have that bottom rung of the ladder now.
Yeah. We have. Well, I mean, we already did with
I'm
CSI,
sorry
but now I think we can understand like how you can get there in different cool ways. How you can arrive at the bottom rung just from sliding down, from climbing down to jumping down. There's lots of ways to go down.
Yeah, and like I don't have a problem with it just for us, but I'm sorry if any listeners get annoyed with us constantly ripping on New Tales. I'm sorry if we don't get away from it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have Minecraft to talk about next week as we talk about Minecraft Story Mode Season 1, Episode 2. And until then, have a great summer.
Have a great summer.